Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. And boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Brian Norman Jr. is back. Tranquilized Man is back. If y'all didn't see the fight, he damn near killed Wagner, boy. I'm telling you, Brian Norman Jr. has got some serious power in those hands. Matter of fact, with Ronnie Shields, proving to be a damn good combination, isn't it? Absolutely amazing to see the way he performed last night. He looked very comfortable. I mean, everything just looked absolutely perfect. I'm gonna show you what caused the problems for Wagner last night. I'm about to show y'all right now. See, this is what caused the problems for old Wagner. I don't want to get no. Here we go. Watch the left hook. See that left hook right there? That's the one. Boom. That's the one. But look how it is. He has his hand low. Look like he's going to go low, but then he brings it up. So he changes the punch. He looks like he's going low. You see, he dips, which makes Wagner kind of lean to his left and drop that elbow, thinking he's going to get hit with a body shot. And then he comes upstairs with it. And he fakes the right hand. You see the right hand? He fakes the right hand. That's the setup. And then he comes with the left. So he got him to take the bait. And then boom, right there. And then after that, Wagner was all over the place. He was all over the place. You can look at his face right there. Wagner is like, somebody get me up out of here. This man done took it to the stupid. And he was just out of it after that point. You know what I'm saying? And here, he just getting pulverized. You know what I'm saying? Just getting pulverized. But you got to give Wagner respect because he definitely didn't come in there to lose. He just got hit with a shot. And it happens in boxing, you know. But I tell you what, it felt like a reset for Brian Norman Jr. Wasn't just another win. Felt like the beginning, to me, of a completely different chapter in his career. The energy felt calmer. His dad, I liked the relationship between he and his dad. But you know, his dad's loud, ranting and raving. That's just who his dad is. But Ronnie Shields is a total opposite. You know what I mean? Ronnie Shields ain't doing all that. That's why the energy was calmer, more focused, more professional, more mature. A lot of fans noticed immediately that something looked different, not just physically, mentally, emotionally, structurally. That's because different personalities, that's all. But I'm going to tell you this. I don't think there's anything wrong with Brian Norman Jr.'s pops being loud. His personality, I can be very loud too. Nothing wrong with that. He's a jovial guy. He likes to talk shit. But, you know, Ronnie Shields ain't like that. And that's why the Ronnie Shields effect was noticeably, was very noticeable, and it was immediate. Because Ronnie Shields has trained world champions for decades. He's known for his structure. He was a badass when he was fighting. You know, people forget Ronnie Shields was a professional fighter too. He ain't ever been about chaos, about screaming at people. He doesn't have these emotional overreactions, not turning every fight build up into a TV reality show and shit. You know, that's just not his style. Ronnie Shields is going to bring that composure. I put it to you this way. He brought these things that showed up in Brian Norman Jr. Composure, I'd say discipline, the ring IQ was on point, patience, professionalism. We all noticed that Brian looked more balanced, and that's a fact. Less reckless, more defensively responsible, more relaxed under pressure, and he had layers to his offense. He wasn't just doing the same thing. That matters big time because talented fighters often lose fights due to emotional instability, not lack of skill. And I just think without the extra noise, the focus shifted back to boxing. Wasn't no bullshit, wasn't no drama. Nah, it wasn't a whole bunch of emotion. It was just boxing. And it made a big difference. A lot of people are saying the entire atmosphere hood around Brian felt different without his pops dominating the energy around the promotion. I say, well, his dad is all about, look, I'll do the promoting, I let him focus on the fight. But when fans say that, I mean, I don't take it as disrespect. But fans notice, okay, ain't a whole bunch of yelling, ain't no cussing, ain't nobody on all these interviews, going back and forth with these content creators, you know, all these theatrics out the window, less distractions. So instead, the focus stayed on strategy, execution, and performance. And I tell you what, I don't know what Brian Norman Jr. is going to do next. but he's got a lot of opportunities. I'll tell you that, man. Let me see something real quick. Since we're talking about it, I hate to talk about it, then skip over it, then come back. Now let's talk about it right now. I'm gonna show you what could be happening for him because of course everybody knows what they're talking about, for him to get his get back. But when you take a look at this right here, Brian Norman Jr., they got him ranked at number 2 right behind Devin Haney and Stanley Eunice, Garcia Romero. But him being ranked number 2, let's see where he's at down here. Okay. Brian Norman Jr. is ranked, let me expand this for y'all a little bit. Okay. He's ranked number 6 by the WBO. Brian Norman Jr. is ranked number 10 by the IBF. For the WBC, he's ranked number 5. And then he's ranked number 7 by the WBA. The WBO jerked him, didn't they? They knocked him all the way down to the 6. But the bottom line is after that win, he's going to bubble up in the rankings. And while I'm talking about this, Conor Benn and Ryan Garcia fight in September, in case y'all didn't know. Just wanted to throw that at you. So that just means that Brian Norman Jr. is up and away, folks. And I think he's going to do very well, man. Just got to stay focused on the strategy, execution, and performance. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you what, man, sometimes a fighter needs separation from emotional environments to fully evolve. That's what Clarissa needs. She needs separation from an emotional environment, especially when becoming an elite professional. You know what I'm saying? Brian looked more, he looked sharp technically. You could tell that he like a kid in a candy store that has money. He knew he could spend that money, man, and get all kind of candy in that store last night. What I mean is he just had so many different things he learned, and he was just sitting there spending them. Okay, I want to buy a jab, throw the jab out there. I want to buy a check hook. I want to draw a right hand. I want to feint with the right, come with the left. Everything he wanted to do, man, he had the cash to do it because they invested in him. They invested in him during training camp, and he evolved. So he is an elite level professional. His dad deserves all the credit in the world to get him to this point. And Ronnie Shields is just fine tuning him. That's all. Brian looked more sharp technically, man. Against Wagner, the jab, the timing, the feet, the footwork, the balance, the shot selection, everything looked smarter. Looked calmer, looked improved, looked cleaner, man. He wasn't forcing chaos. He was controlling the pace. That's a huge difference. Old version of Brian Norman Jr., tranquilized man, sometimes looked like he wanted to win every second of every exchange. This version, he looked like he understood. I can break a fighter down round by round. I got the power to knock this man out at any time. But I'm going to take my time round by round, not force anything, and the shit's going to come. You know what that shows? Maturity. And I just think the biggest difference was his composure, man. You know what I'm saying? That stood up more than anything. I was like, hey, yo, hold your horses, Brian Norman Jr. You're taking it to the stupid up in there, boy. My man looked emotionally under control. No rushing. No panic. He ain't had no damn expression on his face. You know what I mean? His face, if I was to liken his face to something that's going over by your neighbor house who from Wisconsin, and they try to give you some bland-ass food. Ain't no seasoning in that shit. Just like Brian Norman Jr.'s face was no expression. He ain't had no seasoning on his face. He was just there, man. Bland expression. You don't know what he was thinking. But I tell you what, he wasn't rushing. He wasn't panicked. He wasn't taking unnecessary risk. He wasn't fighting angry. Nah, and that's how you need to be. Like Miguel Cotto. No seasoning on that face. Don't let them know what you're thinking and feeling. Elite boxing requires emotional control, and he showed that, man. And that's why I'm really excited about the direction he's going, man. Great fighter. And great fighters. Stay calm. Think under pressure. They make adjustments. Conserve energy. Remain disciplined. I know he was ready to do all of that last night. That's why I'm sitting here, kind of championing that Brian Norman Jr. In my opinion, that performance suggested that he's learning all these things, man, and that makes him significantly more dangerous moving forward. But that Ronnie Shields may have extended his career, I'll tell you that. A lot of trainers can help a fighter win, but great trainers help fighters preserve themselves, avoid damage, think smarter, fight efficiently. Fans can say what they want, but Ronnie Shields, they're looking at Ronnie Shields like, damn, we forgot how great of a trainer this man was. He may really help Brian become more durable long term, more polished, more consistent, harder to beat mentally. Because athleticism alone can take a fighter so far, but when you got the right trainer who knows what to do with that athleticism and recognize you got somebody with a strong mentality and they can learn, shit, that gets traders excited, man. That's their little project. And I think what they have on the table for him as the assignment is Devin Haney. That rematch getting a whole lot of attention, man. And of course, Devin Haney is being mentioned as a possible future opponent. It has fans talking heavily, man, because stylistically it's interesting. We already know we saw them fight the first time, but we know Haney brings discipline, range control, accuracy, timing, composure. Not sure the fight goes the way it went the first time. I think it'll be kind of like the first round, where Brian Norman Jr. will dominate because he's not going to be in there making them same mistakes. Still keeps that left hand down kind of low. And that's where Devin Haney could try to shoot that quick right hand, and then clinch. You know how Devin Haney fights. But I'm just saying, the fight becomes more interesting this time. Because Brian Norman Jr. and Ronnie Shields, he just seems to have more explosiveness. The athleticism is there. The aggression is there. Speed, confidence, but patience, man. Patience. And I think he's becoming more fundamentally dangerous. But we got to see how he looks in the next, I think, 2 fights. Because I don't think the Devin Haney fight's happening anytime soon. But I just feel the version of Brian is better suited for the big fights. Ain't no need to question him on whether he's too emotional or he's too wild for elite level boxing and his dad is ruining him. Nah. All those talks need to subside. Because what we saw last night is he's actually leveling up mentally. And that changes everything. Because boxing at the championship level, you watch all these guys who are fighting at that level. That's just psychological warfare. It's not just physical warfare. So you got to have the right team around you, man. And when I think about the energy is everything. It just feels more professional now. I think because there's not as much noise, man. Fans, promoters, network sponsors, everybody. I was listening to everybody. I was reading the articles. I read shit last night. I didn't go live, but I was reading everything. Everybody observed his demeanor, his presentation, the maturity, the professionalism. They're like, damn, Norman Jr., man, tranquilized, man, look composed, marketable, focused, coachable. And that creates confidence from the business side of boxing too, you know what I'm saying? So everybody looking at him, they're like, yo, he's ready to rebuild momentum. Hood Champion was right. He is tranquilized, man. He just kind of, got a little sidetracked in that second round with Devin Haney, being too aggressive and getting too careless, and he got caught. But he is what Hood Champion said. Of course. Y'all can't come and snatch the man's momentum. Because momentum in boxing is everything. And I think Brian Norman Jr. is entering the most important stretch of his career. You know what I'm saying? You got people believing in you again, not just the talent. They're just looking at the direction, and that's very important. And Ronnie Shields, I think you're going to help him reach his ceiling. Because some fighters plateau, but when you get with the right trainer, they can take you up another level. For example, Marcos Maidana had plateaued. He fought Devin Alexander, lost. That was it. He thought his career was over. He hooked up with Robert Garcia, helped him, man, to achieve his ceiling. He didn't plateau. They broke through that plateau and helped him get to his ceiling to fight Mayweather twice, but many argue that he won the first fight. So fighters can evolve with the right teacher, man. And many fans believe Ronnie Shields may be exactly what Brian needed. He's not with all that emotion and wildness. It's definitely more discipline, smarter setups, better pacing, more defensive awareness. I'm telling you right now, if that happens consistently, Brian Norman Jr. becomes a serious problem for the division. And that Devin Haney rematch would be massive for his career because there's big money floating around Devin Haney right now. And Brian Norman Jr., I think he's with Top Rank still. They may have to sort that out if they're going to make that rematch. You know, when Turkey's in the house every day, it's Thanksgiving. Devin could be over there at Zuffa. That's the rumor anyway. $100 million deal. But let's not get it twisted. If Devin Haney He's elite, skilled, experienced, intelligent, and he got a win over Brian Norman Jr., so he's going to have some confidence. But if Norman Jr. and Haney rematch that and he beat Devin Haney, shit. Brian Norman Jr. goes to godlike status. You know what I'm saying? Even if they compete and it comes to a draw, but the bottom line is the perception changes dramatically. But if he gets a win, he's in godlike status. So at the end of the day, Barack Obama was all about hope. Yes, we can. Well, I mean, goddamn, maybe that's what we should start calling Brian Norman Jr. Brian Obama Jr. Brian Obama Norman Jr. Because he's giving people hope again. And that's the key takeaway. I saw the talent, I saw the maturity growth, I saw the discipline, composure. People out here wondering, boy, is Brian about to become the fighter many thought he could be all along? And that's why this win mattered big time, man. Not because of who Wagner was alone, but because of what Brian himself looked like. And that's what he looked like, man. He looked like a champion. He looked great, man. Final thoughts, Brian Norman Jr.'s victory over Wagner felt bigger than just one night, in my opinion. It was a reset for him. Him rebuilding himself, transforming under a new coach, going a new direction. And I'm telling you, Ronnie Shields, boy, you got Earl Spence coming up next, and you got Jamal Charlo. Shit. Ronnie Shields may be labeled trainer of the year. If his guys all get in there and do the business like that, all knockouts, shit. Ronnie Shields is going to be nominated for trainer of the year. I'm telling you that right now. Because people are seeing that calmer energy in Norman, smarter boxing, better structure, more professionalism. Maybe that shows up in Earl Spence. And all I'm saying is if this continues, Brian Norman Jr. is going to become champion again. Earl Spence will probably become a champion at 154. And it's not just because of their talent, but because the environment to maximize it. So, your good luck to Tranquilize Man. The new Brian Norman Jr., my boy looking dangerous. Y'all keep cool, I'm in the breeze.